Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2024 Netflix original film, Don't Move, starring Finn Wittrock. Asbilder Gassil is in this. Or I just completely butchered her name. But it's an hour and a half. It's a horror film. Sam Raimi produced it. And Finn Wittrock. I can't get the names today. Finn Wittrock, there we go. Awesome, incredible talent. We all know and love him from the American Horror Stories franchise. So, we know he can do horror. We know he can do drama. We know he's very convincing. Wonderful actor. So, first 2/3 of the film are okay, and then the ending is just frustrating. And it's so slow. It's so boring. It's so agonizingly painful. And I think it's so agonizingly painful because no one is helping this girl. And I think that's also the point of this, is that things can be happening right in front of your face. And you have no clue what's going on. Not a clue to your surroundings. So this woman, Iris, is up on this mountain top where there's this hiking trail where her son inadvertently fell a while ago, and her husband and her are now having problems because she was supposed to be watching him, but she wasn't, and whatever, right? So, passed away, there's a memorial. She wants to now unalive herself. Finn's character of Richard is on top of the mountain, meets her as well, and, she does not jump off the cliff, but he has ulterior motives. So he then tranquilizes her by giving her this paralytic, which kicks in 20 minutes. So then we have the 20-minute countdown, and then everything just shuts down basically. But her eyelids can still move, and her breathing is still fine, and her heart is still beating. It's really the only three things that are not affected by this paralytic somehow. So it's now a quest of, how does she get this out of the system? How does she survive when he's obviously a serial killer and he has ulterior motives to take her back to the cabin and do whatever he wants to do with her. So then she then slowly starts to lose mobility, but eventually winds up in a river, and then winds up at a farmer's house, and then all hell breaks loose when he shows up, and etc. But my concern with the plot throughout this is that he fights that guy and burns the house down. He then fights a police officer and unalives that man and throws him in the car and burns the police car. How are these giant fire things happening, and there's no immediate search for what's going on, especially if you're downing an officer and then setting that car on fire in the middle of the woods? That's another thing that people are going to be noticing. So a lot of stuff is happening throughout this film, and you're like, how is no one paying attention to this? People are just stupid. Little kid sees the girl at the car, at the gas station. Other people see the girl in the car at the gas station. Other people see the girl in the car here and there, right? So, nobody's doing anything. Nobody is paying attention. Nobody's realizing. So I think that's what's kind of frustrating about the film overall, is that it mimics life too much, is that there's too much going on that people aren't paying attention to. And I think that's why I don't like this film, because it's too similar to real life. If it was more far-fetched, if it was more fantasy, if it was more horror of that aspect, I think I would have liked it more. But because it's so agonizingly painful to watch stupid people do stupid things, that's what our reality currently is. Stupid people are doing stupid things. So I didn't find entertainment to this, because you watch a film to escape the reality. When you're watching a film that is the reality, it's a little different. Sometimes things can be tweaked to mimic reality, a la the Purge series. I think it's a wonderful representation. Certain imagery of certain projects, fine, but I've always had problems with the Boys franchise because of that. It's very too similar to real life. But I know that the other seasons, the most recent seasons, which I haven't gotten to yet, are very self-aware of that and make further fun of the current situation of this country. So I think I might enjoy them more, just because I understand the satire. But we shall see. So 2024 Don't Move. It was all right. I'm never going to watch it again. Actors did a great job with the material they were given. Material could have used some work. I also don't like that the daughter of Richard was on the phone, and that conversation then with the wife was brought into effect. They could have done a lot more of that. What would the daughter and spouse do in the situation of finding the girl at the cabin, right? What kind of story would that have been? I think I would have liked that better than a final showdown in a random boat in the middle of the lake. That was boring. Can't win them all. Anyway, 2024 don't move. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.